Good evening, Railroad Preserver 2000 here, and I'm back again live cast, and this is the final night that we'll be staying here in Cass. We'll be leaving out tomorrow morning, pretty much at around 10 o'clock, which is when we have to be out of here. We're going to be trying to get breakfast at the company store, because they open up an hour beforehand. No trains are going to be running Monday. Monday and Tuesdays have never had any train traffic on the railroad here. So they're basically on their normal operating schedule. It's just that they have reduced occupancy on all their trains, which is 2 to Whitaker, 1 to Bald Knob, basically. I guess the double header I caught must have been I guess the start of the 2021 steam season, I guess. I don't know. Because the train that we were on only had one engine. And Shay number 2 was doing the honors today. And I met Gabster Gaiman. He was on the train to Whitaker. Murphy's Law. I joked with him. It's like, yeah, I think somebody here saw my video and had you moved so that I wouldn't distract you. Oh, but still. It is what it is. I was able to talk to him and all, but yeah, I figured I'd, do at least one last stream while I'm here. But from what I've heard from the staff and the train crews, the route to Durban, they're looking to have the whole route from here to Durban reopened by, at the latest, next year. So, depending on what happens, and depending on what we do this summer, I could be back here. As for whether or not I'll be able to ride the Durban line, I don't know. Ooh. Lightning. And then well, I was going to say, I saw some lightning. Where's the thunder? There it is. Oh, hey, Kevin. How you doing? Kevin, I don't know why I need to get inside. What's wrong? What's going on? Okay, there's like no one else here, but anyways, I've looked so far, and as far as everything I've filmed in Cass, there's a total of, as far as my Cass folder for video folder, it's got about 81 items in it, including the first ever time lapses that I've ever filmed on a train. I figured if I wanted to do it, I'd do it here in Cass, and I did it. The time lapses show the ride up from Cass to Bald Knob, and then from Bald Knob back down to Cass. Now, I will say, the time lapse of the train ride up is a bit odd, seeing as it has more lightning. No, seeing as it has people who accidentally get in the front of the camera, which I don't mind, but still. Kevin, I'll live, my friend. Besides, it's not as bad as you think. Heck, it only started raining literally right after we got off the train, like, yeah. So, yeah, I'm Just chilling out here on the porch while I'm still able to have that chance. Because we don't have a porch swing at my house. Our back porch is too open and the front porch is literally just a walkway. That's it. I honestly have to go and wonder just as to just how many layers of white paint they've put on these houses. Because I know the upkeep on them must be a nightmare, seeing as they're real wood, and I doubt they've been treated, so... Termite! Anyways. Yes. I've, There's an echo for you. No, what it is I've started back editing videos at the moment. Currently, the next video that I'm working on is what I filmed with Jesse in Nanantic. After that, it'll be Groton, and after that, it'll be New London. And then I'll get to the stuff I filmed shortly after we left on the drive out of Connecticut into New York and New Jersey, where we stopped in, we went through some tunnels coming out of New Jersey into New York. We went over the new Tappan Zee Bridge. We stopped in Boonton, New Jersey, and I was able to see the depot there along New Jersey Transit's commuter line. No trains, though, unfortunately for that. But, you know, of course, that was on the way to here. I've got a little bit of video in Harrisburg where I'm just walking across a bridge, and I really don't know if I'm going to keep that or not. The reason is I was hoping to be able to go and look at the GG1 in Pennsylvania caboose that was on display in the train station there, but unfortunately, you can only go and see them when you're down on the platforms, and the train that they said would be arriving next wouldn't have arrived at 2, meaning if we had just stayed there, we would have gotten here when it was like 8 to 9 at night, meaning we wouldn't have been able to come, because my grandmother does not like driving at night, especially on mountain roads, for a very good reason. So yeah. But I don't know if I'm going to upload the stuff from Harrisburg. I've already got video from where I basically let y'all know that we made it. And besides, I've got a metric ton of stuff. Like, I'll just say this. Cass currently, at this present time, has the most photographs and the most video from the entire trip. And let me just say, it's not, I made sure to make it be nothing like the first 2 visits that were on film. It's handheld, but it's not shaky as hell. I'm looking at the scenery and people instead of the engine. In short, I was in the last car on both trains, and I tried to make what I was seeing more of the focus. Wherever my head turned, the camera turned with it. Whatever I saw with my eyes is what the camera sees, or saw. I do show the engine a little bit, but it ain't much. But that's going to be a metric ton of film that I'm going to have to put together, as well as photos. And today, we also made a quick run up to Durban, just so I could see how the town looked. Hadn't changed in like 3 years. Actually 7, because we went up there the same time we went up to Cass the first time. In fact, I point out exactly where I had my original camera, my worn out Sony one. God, I wish I still had that thing so I could show you what I mean when I say it was worn out. Like, the viewing screen in the back was completely scratched all to hell. The camera itself was beat up. Still still worked somehow. The only thing that caused me to get rid of it was the fact that the pop-out lens got stuck and there was no way to free it. And I remember forcing it shut, and that killed it. He killed the camera. You couldn't film with it. You could still look back at files on it, but you couldn't film with it. And that was around 2015. just before I got that old cell phone that my dad had, you know, the one that had really bad quality, when I filmed the old Deadline at Cast, which has now been partially removed. Yeah, that. Yeah. But yeah, of course, after that Sony camera was retired, then I ended up getting the Canon camcorder that you saw a lot of my earlier videos filmed with. You know, Alaska, Cass, everything else, Mullins. That was my main camera until I got until around, I believe, the trip to St. Louis. Either St. Louis or when Jesse and I met up for the first time at TVRM. I think either one of those trips was the last one where I used that camera. Because that was the same time that that was around the time I had gotten the PowerShot and the Rebel, which basically put the camcorder out of commission. Now, will I get another camcorder? Maybe. When that'll be, I really don't know, because, you know, there's no telling when that'll be, really. Because most of the good ones are costing a fortune now, and you can't seem to record hours of video on one battery. Or they have a built-in limit where you can only record clips maybe, say, 20 to 30 minutes, and then it automatically stops. But, yeah. It will. But since I now know that I could film a time lapse of the ride, that technically means if I wanted to, I could use this phone if we come back up here, and I could film the ride to Durban. Now, I think they will probably be using normal enclosed passenger cars. So that more or less means I won't be able to do what I did here at Cass. Unless they have a caboose where I can just sit out the back and just watch the track, you know, roll by. But when that'll be, I really don't know. I've heard of Thurman, Kevin, but I don't think Ellen and I would know how to get there. Oh! Let's see. Right then. Right then. No, it's fine. It's just the freaking war going on. No, it's fine. That's just World War III breaking. No, I'm just kidding. It's like the last thing you hear before you just vaporize it. Something is just that. Oh my god. I guarantee you, with all the rain we're having, that river is going to be high tomorrow. Because I believe it's supposed to rain all today and all tonight. I believe all tomorrow. I could be wrong, but yeah. Anyway. Why am I doing it? Why am I doing it? Simple. Because I can. It's just like when Railroad Preserver just loses his mind and gradually becomes insane, deranged. Ah! Says the guy who is, I'm just gonna stop right there. Oh, what's this button? Oh, let's see. Dang it! Excuse me. Oh, what's happened? Well, what happened here? Oops. What are you doing? What are you doing? That's what I'm doing. But, yeah, I'm, probably gonna end the stream here, so I'll, see y'all in Baltimore, I suppose.